Okay, what we're looking at here is lesson 2 of solving quadratic equations. Now, period 1, we got through this. Period 2, we didn't, so take a look at it, and I'll expect you to do some of the homework and get caught up on it as we move forward this week. So let's see what we have here. All of this says the same thing that we had before, that sometimes we can find the roots of this equation by factoring, and we can always find it using the quadratic formula. So I guess the question is, why would you ever want to factor? Well, factoring's faster. If you're able to factor it, then it's faster, and off you go. So here's one. It's not telling us whether to factor or use the quadratic formula. It just says solve. So I look at this, and I'm going to do some work. So this is going to be x squared minus 6x plus 9 equals 2x plus 2. All I did was expand that out, and you should have enough experience doing that now. Let's get some things. We've got to put it in standard form. So x squared minus 8x plus 7. So this came over and this came over, which gave me the 0 on that side. So now it's x minus 7 and x minus 1 factored. So x times x is x squared, minus 1 minus 7 and minus 8. It works. So x equals 1 and 7. Those are my roots. That's what I've solved for. Solving means isolating x, and that's what we've done. Let's take a look at b. So this is going to be x squared minus 6x plus 9 equals 8 minus 2x squared plus 1. Okay, so I'm just simply expanding this, and I expanded that. I'm going to want to bring this over to this side, so it's going to be 2x squared plus another x squared is 3x squared. I've got 6x. I don't have any other x's, so it's going to be minus 6x. I've got 9. I've got 8. The 8 and the 1 is 9, so it's going to come over as negative 9. So positive 9, take away 9 is no more 9's. That can be factored, so 3x, it's going to be x minus 2. So I've got two things that are multiplied to give 0. So either x equals 0 or x equals 2. Those are my two roots. Seems pretty easy. Let's look at the last one. I'm going to remember what I was taught earlier. I was taught to clear the fractions. So to clear the fractions, what I do is I multiply each and every term by the LCD. Now my two terms are, well, there's three terms. There's one, there's the other, and there's my third term. So that's basically the question. What I'm going to do is multiply each one of them by the LCD, which is x plus 1, x plus 2. This guy is going to be multiplied x plus 1, x plus 2. And this guy gets multiplied x plus 1, x plus 2. And what you're going to notice is that we can reduce. That's the whole purpose of clearing the fractions. This x plus 2 and this x plus 2 will reduce. This x plus 1 and this x plus 1 will reduce, giving us a much easier question. I have x plus 1 times 1 minus 2x plus 2 equals 3x plus 1, x plus 2. And that's a much easier question for us to work with than the above one. This will give me x plus 1. This will give me minus 2x minus 4. This will give me x squared, so it's going to be 3x squared. It's going to give me 3x, which is going to be 9x. And it's going to give me 2, which is going to be 6. So I did that in my head, so be careful of that. If you need to do an extra step, that's fine. Getting like terms, this is a 3x squared, and it's positive. I want to leave that on this side. So I'm going to take all of these and move them over here. So once I take the x minus 2x, which is negative x, and move it over here, it's going to be negative x. It's going to become positive x, so it's going to be 3x squared plus 10x. This is 1 and negative 4, so that'll be negative 3 over here. It's going to come over to this side and be positive 3. So 6 plus 3 is going to be 9. So if I have 0 equals this, that's the same as saying this equals 0. Now I'm going to want to factor. So I'm looking for a scrap piece of paper to do my factoring. And it's going to be a 3x, a 3x over top of 3. Two numbers to multiply to give 9 and add to give 10. I'm thinking 9 and 1. They multiply to give a negative. They add to give a positive. I'm wrong. Going too fast. 3x, 3x. I need a number that's going to multiply to give me 27 and add to give me 10. So 27 is going to be 1 and 27. 2 doesn't go evenly. 3 goes 9 times. And then it's going to go back to 9 and 3. So guess what? None of those will go together to give me a factor. So this can't be done by factoring. I must use, does not factor, I must use the quadratic formula. So using quadratic formula, x is going to equal minus b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac all over top of 2a. In this case, a is equal to 3, b is equal to 10, and c is equal to negative 9. They came from here. Let's come out a little bit so you can see better. Okay, so now what I want to do, I want to do x equals minus 10 plus or minus 100 minus 108 square root over top of 6. X equals negative 10 plus or minus square root negative 8 over 6. X equals negative 10 plus or minus 2I root 2 over 6. Common factor out of 2. Minus 5 plus or minus I root 2 over 6. And that'll simply be minus 5 plus or minus I root 2 over 3. And there you go. So, your homework for this, if you flip that over, you're going to have some of number 1, some of number 2, and some of number 3. I think what I'm going to tell you is pick any 4 out of each and do them. Or pick any 3 out of each and do them. And then tomorrow do a different group of 3. But do these until you can get them, because when your test comes, I'm going to pick them right out of here. And I think we'll probably have a quiz on, I don't know, maybe Wednesday or Thursday. Okay, we'll see you then.